Here's Johnny.
Welcome to my world, bitch.
Hi, I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end. Heidi ho.
And when you're down here with me, you float down.
Like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Friday the 14th podcast. I am V4K Bad Guy.
All right. I am Juan, and I'm excited, man. Another Wednesday, another horror movie.
Never horror movie. This was your choice, my man.
It was my choice. The original, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm excited to dig into it a little bit with you. How you been though? It's been a good week. Did you have a happy Halloween?
Happy Halloween. I really love the holiday, but I didn't do shit.
Was
Stayed home all day.
Did you feel defeated knowing that it was it?
The end of the season of the Bad Guy.
Yeah, that the Halloween spooky season is over, but the good thing about it though is, you know, Wednesdays we get to talk horror movies on Friday the 14th. So it should be pretty fun. I'm excited for this episode. This is gonna be a unique episode with mentioning a top 5 to this episode. I didn't get through all of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, but I did a little recap of just some reading and some watching, so should be pretty fun.
Shit. Got our usual. I could have sworn that TTCM was showing a movie called Freddy. What? Got fingered. So that how to be
It's a funny
crazy
movie.
talk about
Daddy, would you like some
sausage.
Tom Green. Remember he used to have his own late night show on MTV. I don't know
The
if
Tom
that.
Green show.
Yeah. Oh, so you know it. Good. I'm not an old
I know of it,
bastard.
but I never seen it actually.
So I am the old bastard that
You
remembers
did.
Tom Green. Okay.
I know Tom Green, but that show is just before.
I was gonna say, I'm sure we both have the nice glossy Blu-ray steelbook of the Texas
I
Chainsaw
think
Massacre.
mine looks a little glossier.
The 1,000th person that watches this on YouTube is gonna get not a free copy. Go buy your own fucking movie.
Oh shit!
I'm not giving away none of my. I'm not giving away my hard copies. So, but it is a pretty cheap Blu-ray though. I think if you guys can find it out there, I think I got mine for like $9.99.
Around that price range.
Yeah, it's a little generic on the inside. They didn't clean it up at all. It's still a Blu-ray. There's still a lot of film grain in it, but it's pretty fun to have.
There's a 4K edition out there.
Is it like a Germany copy?
Yeah, I believe so.
Those sons of bitches.
But they had that's a steelbook, and then there's like alternate slip cases or covers, whatever. There's one that was kind of like a painting that I like. The second one just came out on 4K by Vinegar Syndrome.
Circumcision. What?
Circumcision.
What?
Vinegar Syndrome. You
What
ever
did
heard that?
Oh, okay.
They put out some nice physical media.
Nice. Yeah, you can kind of see it in the background, but my nice little Indiana Jones 5-film steelbook copy set back there. It's a pretty nice little set. But man, this is a fun episode. I think this is gonna get some good convos going. If you guys are watching us for the first time or listening to us, you guys have reviewed some Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies before in the past. Just a few weeks ago, we did Texas Chainsaw Next Generation. Earlier this year, we did the 2022 version of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You guys did the beginning, right? Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning?
No, we did
the 2003
03
version. Yeah. Jessica Biel
and Arlie Ermy.
Mm.
And the guy from Grind.
But yeah, this is gonna be a fun little episode. So I feel like it's been forever since we've talked to you, but we just talked to you. I just talked to you on Monday when we talked about Halloween 4.
Return of Michael Myers.
Yeah, and that fucking library.
That library.
Yeah,
Is
so
that one of your? You still haven't got that sponsor yet?
not yet, man. I don't know how they'd be able to sponsor us with. They just give everything away for free. So
Do a free giveaway.
yeah,
You already getting shit free.
yeah, um, yeah. Should be fun. But oh, what did I do? I'm sorry.
What are you doing, man?
I did the wrong fucking thing.
Oh no, I said about.
I'm super excited to talk about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So, but I think you want to rank them?
Rank 'em.
Yeah. Do you want to rank the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies 1 through 5, or we'll go from 5 and go to 1?
Go to one.
Go to 1.
Sounds.
Does it sound tight? People still use that word today. Tight.
Never heard anyone use tight in a while. Besides, as referring to something that's in your behind.
You've never? Wow, man.
Not recently.
Not recently.
No one talks like that.
No one talks.
Besides that tight huddle, but
okay. Well, I'll go ahead and kind of go through mine. I went ahead and ranked all of them, even though there's more than 5. So I'm going to start off with my 2 favorite least. I got an honorable mention, and then we'll start with number 5. The one that is just god awful to me. It's the dog shit version is the 2022 version, the 2022 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. In my opinion, that's the worst out of all of them. And then right behind that one is going to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D from 2013. So those are my worst of the worst Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. And then my 2 honorable mentions is going to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, Leatherface, and then Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. So those are my honorable mentions. What about you? Do you have any that you completely just hate, or any honorable mentions?
hates. Hates is it's just such a strong word. Hates.
It's really not.
Dislike. I think for a long while, I really didn't like the Leatherface prequel that came out. What was it, 2017?
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah, just because that one didn't really feel like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie at all. As far as honorable mentions, kind of pains me to put it there. I mean, it should be top 5, but
Next Generation.
Next Generation.
All right.
Just because Matthew McConaughey is in it and he made it a fun watch.
Well, since you brought that up, I guess we'll start. My number 5 is going to be Next Generation. For that simple fact, Matthew McConaughey just killing it and making it seem more cartoonish and outlandish than it probably should have been in a movie that's probably not honestly very good at all, but I think his performance made it fun and a pretty good watch that time. So that's my number 5 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre Next Generation from 1995. What about you?
Noodle Cinco, in fact, that you said it was complete dog shit. But I thought that was a pretty decent movie. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Netflix 2022. The story was pretty trash, but I did enjoy how Leatherface kills were. Yeah, it's not really much to say about that movie, but I mean, it's been out for a while, so I don't know if it's really a spoiler, but the ending is still one of the cooler endings of this franchise. Or he has a freaking sister's head.
Oh yeah, that's pretty fun. No, that is pretty good. You mentioned this one already too, but number 4 for me is going to be Leatherface from 2017. When you get to see little baby Texas Chainsaw Massacre as like a preteen or teenager, but I think that's why I did kind of like it. I know it doesn't feel like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie at all, but to me, it did feel like a unique horror movie. Um, and I thought some of the kills were pretty good. So, for that reason, for it being different from all the rest, I'm gonna just put it right there and stick it in at number 4.
You stuck it right in. Number
Yeah.
4, Halloween Ends. What the hell? Different franchise? What?
So what's number 4 for you?
Number 4. I'm going with the TCM Part 2.
Part 2. Part 2.
Part 2.
Not a bad sequel, but for some reason it kind of does get a little shit. It kind of gets a little flack sometimes, but
goofy.
I personally don't think it's that bad.
Apparently, originally that's how the first one was intended to be. It was supposed to be like a comedic tone, but of course you see the outcome. It's not comedic really so much.
Number 3 for me is going to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, with Jordana Brewster. And I think mostly I'm just going to give it that high of a spot because you get more of the prequel story from the 2003 film. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning from 2006 to me is a pretty fun prequel, and I like that they were able to keep a lot of the people who played in that first 2003 film kind of intact, like the main people. So the kills are great. It feels dirty. It feels grunchy, and just something that you probably are. There are some scenes that's a little uncomfortable. So it's what a decent horror movie is supposed to do. So number 3 for me is Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning.
At number 3 for me, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
The prequel. I love how they bring the cast from the old 3 version. So I mean, give them a hand for that. This one's a little bit more gruesome than the old 3 version. Oh man, it's just a pretty good movie. I don't know, it's just nostalgic. Well, if I can even use that word. But yeah, this was one of those movies that I enjoyed watching the 2000s, early 2000s era.
Man, these last 2 are pretty hard for me to like put one in front of the other. But I think I'm gonna have to go. Number 2 is gonna be Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 version with Jessica Biel for number 2 for me. And I don't want to say too much because it'll give away some of my thoughts on number 1 and the film we're talking about. So I'll just leave it at that.
Number 2 for me is the movie we're reviewing today. Yes.
Nice. And I think I know why, and it's gonna be fun conversation. So number 1 for me is the movie we are doing today, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974. I wanted you to kind of give me your thoughts on 2003, but I think we're going to use that conversation to dig into the 74 version too. So I mean that's why I kind of left mine a little short and sweet too. So, but by all means, start us off. Your number 1 is.
It was my honorable mention. I was what the 03 is the number 1 spot for me.
I like that though.
That was the first one I've actually dived into, so I give that one the credit. That got me into the character itself.
I like your explanation of that because that's why number 1 is number 1 for me, because the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre to me was like the same. Like this is the first kind of one of the first horror movies I've seen, and this is the movie that like led me into who and what Leatherface is. So it sounds like it's the same for you for 2003. So it feels like but by all means, I'm not that old to watch 74 in theaters. I didn't watch the 74 version until like the late 90s, but that's the same for me. Like this, it feels like that nostalgia kind of Friday night, late night, blockbuster rental, bag of popcorn. So, man, I think that was a fun list. That was a fun top 5 and a fun conversation. So let's dig in to Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Spoiler free snaps.
Yeah, so 5 friends head out to rural Texas to visit the grave of a grandfather. On the way, they stumble across what appears to be a deserted house, only to discover something sinister within, something armed with a chainsaw. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, had a release date of October 1st, 1974, starring Marilyn Burns, Edwin Neal, Paul Parton, William Vale, and you have the late great Gunnar Hansen playing Leatherface. And then this was directed by Toby Hooper. This movie has a lot of good praise, honestly. IMDb has it at 7.4. Rotten Tomatoes scores it at 88%. Metascore is 78. And then Google's like at 87. So, I always compare budget to box office, and this movie only had $140,000 budget. But so far it's grossed over $31 million. So I think this will be a fun conversation. But talking to you about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, man, and like you said, spoiler warning. So this movie is available on. I think you can watch it for free on Tubi, right?
Tubi, freebie.
Yeah. Freebie.
VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K,
Yeah.
any rental services, whatever.
Yeah.
PH.
So I haven't had too many movies, but this is one of the few movies that I've had on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and I'm sure once. Hold on a second there. I'm sure once this gets a grand national 4K release, I'm sure I'll pick that up too. But you know what, man? I didn't have any issues again watching this movie, but the first 30 minutes, I just kind of forgot how slow it was.
The slow build-up.
Slow build-up. And I don't know. I like it because it's eerie and there's good wide shots and it's leading you into what's about to happen. And first off, the very, very beginning is amazing with the news reporter or whoever it is talking about the 5 friends. These are the events of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the camera light bulb in the background. Very, very spooky. That's what always got me. But man, 30 minutes.
That little camera sound effect that.
Yeah.
What you're about to see is that sexy ass voice. I don't know, that body skeleton on
Is
hanging.
this the first time watching a while, or how long has it been since you got to check it out?
I believe I watched this last year. I think might have been 2 years ago, but
Same.
Not too many, not a whole big gap.
Same. Not a huge big gap for me. I probably could have talked about the movie without watching it again today, but I watched it again anyway. Still not the 30 minutes just kind of got me. But before we dig any deeper into the movie, is it time for our machete rating?
Danny Trejo. Oh, we're going back to spoiler-free synopsis. Rating. Your pick. You go first.
My first. I don't think I've ever given a full girthy sized rating, so I'm going to do it with this one. I think I'm going to give this one 5 stars. 5 Danny Trejos. Yeah, 5.
Cinco. 5 time. Booker T over here. 5.
Yeah.
5.
5 Danny Trejos. First time ever. Right here. Friday the 14th. I've done it. Mark it on your calendars. Mark it on the calendars.
For me,
be honest. Let's hear
be
it.
honest. Oh man, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 5. I was already hesitating.
You could have said what you originally really wanted to.
A 2. Imagine what you wait there.
You won't get that much hate mail. No. But no. We can dig into it, man, like we were about to. I think, leading into it. It's a slow build up, but we've talked about it before on certain horror movies we really enjoyed, like Saint Maud and some other ones off the top of my head. It's slow, but I think it's just necessary. It's a necessary slow because of how the buildup is compared. Like, I mean, you can talk about how some of the scenes aren't needed. Like, do we really need Franklin pissing in a tin can? Do we really need Franklin falling down, rolling down, and that just that whole kind of cheesiness opening? I was going to ask you, um, does the opening scene after the reporter talking with Franklin, with pissing in a tin can, rolling down the hill, does that age well, or were you kind of like, why am I watching this? And I mean, we're not hating on the movie. We both gave it 5 fucking stars, for goodness sake. We're just giving our thoughts on the opening scene. To me, I was kind of like, I probably could have lived without this scene and just opened up with something different with them in the van already.
Oh yeah, the tone you're starting off with, that whole intro going on, it's real creepy, and then it's for that it's throw into a little comedic. You could probably, you can just, it's pretty silly to have that scene in there, or even just that character in general, really.
That did kind of puzzle me. I don't know if it's because you want more sympathy for the group of characters, which I think is what they were going for, or is the director just fucked up enough to where, like, let's poke fun at a handicapped, mentally sane, mentally challenged person. I would like to think that they used that scene and that character for, sympathy. I'm pretty sure that's what they were going for. But to me, I didn't feel any kind of sympathy for that character. What about you?
Care less. We're just all messed up.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, I mean, he was just, as soon as you see him, you think he's just gonna slow the group down. It's a liability.
Yeah. So going past that scene, you get to the mention of they pick up now the hitchhiker, which we don't know it at the time if you're watching this movie for the first time ever. But he's a member of the family, so they pick up the hitchhiker, which I think it's a creepy scene. They talk about the head cheese and killing the cow with the sledgehammer, doing the old Triple H on the sledgehammer, compared to the airsoft gun. Which, if you guys do not know what an airsoft gun is, I would highly recommend Googling it. Or it's also the weapon used in No Country for Old Men. If you haven't seen that movie, go check it out. What do you think? Hitchhiker scene, cutting himself. You owe me $2 for that fucking picture. Nah. Like, I enjoy that scene.
Now that scene fits in. Like, if we started off with that instead of the pissing in the can part.
Yeah.
Just because that's how the remake regularly it starts off kind of that way, except it's the girl getting in. But
yeah,
how that plays out, I mean, she's just a victim trying to escape.
And let me get this straight. Let me do this for everybody watching as well, and I'm pretty sure it's the same for you. If we were reviewing Texas Chainsaw Massacre 03, which you guys have already done, so I'm going to go ahead and give my machete rating on that one, so it's not like we're going to do a double take. I would probably give that one a 5 as well. So that would be, I would probably give the 03 version a 5. So I think those are 2 top-notch Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies.
Now if you ask me, I can't remember shit.
But I'm pretty sure you'd give it a 5 as well, right? You liked it that much. Just go watch it after this.
I think my first initial review, I think I gave it a lower. I don't know, because I feel like I wanted to be fair. I didn't want to just give it like a biased rating. So, but staying about in conversation, I do really enjoy that movie a whole lot. I mean, it's my number one in this ranking list.
The only thing I could probably live without that movie with is the Jedediah ending. where Jessica Biel tries to save the little fucking redneck Hills Have Eyes kid.
He was your favorite character in a way. Just
He was not.
no. That's the reason why you wanted to review The Ring with me.
Yeah,
He didn't have a choice.
he didn't have a choice.
Jedediah.
But you know what? After they let the hitchhiker go, honestly, it's still probably another 15 minutes of just the teenagers walking around. They're going to look for their grandpa's house. She finds the house. They go through the house, and then that's where you get some weird stuff starts happening. They go to this other house, which they stumble upon, and they see all these abandoned cars. And then you finally get Kirk and Pam. They're the ones who go to the house. And, I think it's pretty weird. They knock on the door. A tooth falls down. And they're like, a tooth. Let's go inside and investigate.
Looks safe.
Yeah.
Grandpa? There's only one grandpa I know there. He looks the way he did.
Yeah, he needed some lotion.
Puts the lotion on his skin.
Yeah, some vitamin D. But it takes 35 minutes into the film, but you finally get the first death. What did you think of Kirk's death? Which I thought, to me, was the most bone-chilling death because of just how real it really looked. He gets this old sledgehammer to the head, and he starts doing the fucking Devon Dudley shake.
Oh, and what was that? When Leatherface falls up?
Yeah.
That shot is incredible.
Yeah.
Because you look at it, it's all just nothing there in the area, and then I don't know, it just pops up. There's like no music attached to it, so it's
okay.
raw.
No, I'm glad you brought that up because that's in my notes. What did you think of how most of the movie had hardly any kind of score? Like in some movies that probably wouldn't work, but in this movie, it feels like you're watching something maybe that you shouldn't.
Like an actual documentary type.
Like a documentary, yeah. Which I know that's what they were going for. But yeah, like I said, I just wanted to bring that up to you because in some movies it can be kind of, thumb playing with your thumbs and just waiting for the movie to go and hurry up and pass. But I thought it was a good way to have the movie going.
Just Wake pops up and it's just real chilling.
Yeah.
Just whacks at him and then does a little double tap or maybe 3 times.
Yeah, he fucking shakes. And then he just hauls him to the back.
Yeah, and then it's that slam.
Yeah. Very, very good shot. And throughout the whole movie, you get a lot of, I think there's a lot of tremendous wide shots of just, somebody screaming in the corner. Like in the next scene, you got Pam's death. So she's screaming, getting ready to, die. But in the same shot, you have wide shots of the house, of bones hanging out, things that shouldn't probably be there that's freaking her out. And then she's over in the bottom corner just screaming on your TV screen. And it's just like, man, that's just wide shots like that for these movies that are like in the 70s are just like some stuff they don't even do today. So I was like, even though I was kind of bored the first 30 minutes, like thinking about that kind of stuff and watching it as it goes, you're like, it's pretty good. That's why this movie is what it is.
This movie was inspired, not for its characters or anything like that, but from A Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah. Night of the Living Dead. And then the old, I think Toby Hooper read a book about Ed Gein, too. And inspired him to, put some of that shit that he read on screen about, a serial killer who wears its victim's skins or uses his victim's bones as like furniture and shit. So pretty creepy, pretty creepy facts behind the movie.
It's just skin, Steven.
Yeah, it's just skin.
Just skin.
Oh, Billy. That's another good movie, by the way. What'd you think of Pam's death, though? How she gets hung on the hanger, hung on the hook, and then she ultimately gets stuffed, probably.
She
No, not stuff like that. She gets stuff like in the cooler, doesn't she? Like in the refrigerator.
Not like that. Oh, that's a deleted scene.
Not like that.
Excuse me. No, but she gets put in that cooler. That was pretty cool. And whenever he opened it up, like, what are you doing in there? I'm just trying to keep cool, man.
Yeah. Jerry's death was okay. What do you think of Jerry's death? The guy with glasses. He kind of had the high pitched scream, like he sounded like he was a girl. And Leatherface just like kind of chopped him down too with the hammer. My favorite death, though. I don't know. We can talk about favorite deaths. What about you? My favorite death was Franklin's death, the guy in the wheelchair. I know it's probably fucked up, but I enjoyed the nighttime death of Leatherface chasing and getting him while he's in the wheelchair. It's pretty like Leatherface. He don't give a fuck if you're handicapped, if you're not. Like, you're getting it.
He didn't care. It's like, come on, man. You wouldn't hit a guy with a wheelchair.
You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you? Would you?
Apparently. Yeah, all that was cool. Just a nighttime chase.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool nighttime chase. So I wrote it down, but I brought up the detailed background imagery of just like I said, those wide shots and certain items in the background of almost every other scene. What do you think of Sally when she gets back to the earlier in the movie? You have the gas station scene where they're at the barbecue station. This time she goes back at night. She's thinking she's going to try to get saved by the local commutes, by local business. And she finds out, nope, he's in on it too. The guy who owns the barbecue. Yeah, the chef. What'd you think? Did you like the scene?
I seen it. It's the scene that they try to do in every way. It's just a nice little fake out, stake out.
I could just imagine watching this movie on the big screen, not knowing what was going to happen. Like, I think that'd be a pretty cool layout. I've never seen this movie on a bigger screen, but I think it would be pretty cool to still see in a theater settings. So the cook or the chef, he gets a broom, and he doesn't really hit her hard, but he just kind of like plays with her with a broom. And
little like taps.
Yeah, just tap it in. So pretty eerie. He's Jim Sadow plays the old man, which I believe he's also in number 2, right? Yeah, he's in the second one.
Yeah.
Repraises his role.
So everyone, wasn't good. Hanson.
Gunnar Hansen's not in the second one, but Edwin Neal is the hitchhiker, right? No, another crazy man is, because he died in this one.
Yeah, he dies in there, but in part 2, his body, his corpse gets Bill Moseley chop top. I think he's the one just carrying it around.
Yeah.
So like in that way, it's like it doesn't really say how he's part of family or how he got into it. Just missing in action.
I guess same thing. I guess you could say the same for Wilbur in Next Generation.
Just a bunch of random family.
Yeah. Have you ever seen number 3, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, Leatherface, with Viggo Mortensen?
No, I didn't see part 3.
That
was on Tubi, but it was about to expire, so I didn't get a chance to watch it.
I've only seen it twice, and that's where I had it in my honorable mentions. But from what I remember, it wasn't like terrible.
Ken Foree comes on there, right? Ken Foree.
Yeah, and Viggo Mortensen. So it was pretty cool seeing Viggo Mortensen in a horror movie or a slasher, I guess. Once you get to an hour and 10 minutes, though, this movie like just flies by. Like the whole hour and 10 minutes is like almost like a cat and mouse game. But once they're at the dinner table scene and they bring Grandpa down, and Grandpa, they're the hitchhiker's like, Grandpa, get in on him, get in on her. He was good. You said he was fucking good. You good at killing.
It's the best.
The best. Get
him, Grandpa.
Yeah. I never to this day wondered why they made him look the way he did. Was it just because they didn't have a 90-year-old on set? They didn't want to cast a real 90-year-old? Or were they like, hey, let's just use this guy and make him look super, super old, played by John Duggan, which repraises his role in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. He plays the exact same grandpa. So they put the makeup back on him. But yeah, man, I didn't know, why they ever made him look like that. Did you ever see or hear why they made him look the way he did? Was it just to be creepy, probably?
Probably just creepy. I mean, this guy looks he looks pretty much dead. Like, how's this guy alive?
I will say Gunnar Hansen, until you get to the 2003 remake, is probably the best Texas Chainsaw Massacre body like character that you've probably I've ever seen. I think he looks in the makeup, he looks better than any other Leatherface, probably other than the 03 version. My thoughts. What about you? Did you like the way Gunnar Hansen looked in this classic Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Besides when he put the grandma face or wig face on.
Did you? You didn't like the wig face?
Not the grandma variant, but the first one you see, and when he puts on the suit.
Oh yeah. Same. I like the original face that he has in the beginning. The Pam face, because that's Pam's face, right? That he supposedly pulls off and takes. I think that was Pam's face that he wore at the end. I'm not sure. What'd you think of the escape? And Sally escapes. The hitchhiker gets ran over by again, it's 1974, but once he gets hit and you see the truck run over, it looks like they ran over a scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz.
There's a scarecrow from Pearl.
From Pearl, yeah. Which, if I was shooting this movie, I think it would have been cool just to see the shot that he gets hit by. I don't think you necessarily have to see him getting ran over by the tires. I don't know. If the budget was only $130,000, like I would have left that out. Leave it to the imagination.
Yeah, it was a cool moment. I mean, I just had the crazy dinner table thing going on there. Her just jumping out of the window, running, and then friggin' hitchhiker over here is just. He's a fast runner, but I don't know why he decided to just be all cuckoo over here, just running side to side. I think he's like, oh, I can catch you if I want to.
I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
And he was like, he'll just like slash her back. But it's kind of weird that he just stood there in front of the truck instead of just keep moving. It's like, oh, well, if I die, I die.
If he dies, he dies.
Pretty much.
I did like the scene where the trucker gets out and they do the little, duck duck goose thing around the semi. But I liked how the truck driver picked something up and threw it at Leatherface.
Like a wrench?
Yeah. And then Leatherface falls and the chainsaw cuts his leg.
He's oh shit.
My God.
Oh, man.
I think it would have been funny if they wrote in like a line, like you never hear Leatherface talk, but I think it would have been funny to hear just a fuck.
Wonder why the driver didn't just drive off. What do you like? it's not like he cut open like the wheels or anything on the tires.
Yeah,
Like he was just going on the door.
I was watching this movie with somebody who this was their first time watching it, and that's what she said. She was like, "Why didn't he just get back in the car and take off?" And I'm like,
He probably was like, "Oh hell no, you're gonna do it." The I think it's referred to as the Black Maria, the truck.
Because it's in the script. That's why.
It's in the scripts. Say it.
Because it's such good shit.
I don't know what do you want to do. You want to be a hero? You want to go? Go fight?
You either die the hero, or you live long enough to see yourself.
Called the villain. Yep.
But I says to her, I'm like, that trucker didn't make it anyway.
He's like, he had the
he's running
before he was gonna use a wrench. He was already running like alongside Sally, and he throws it. So knocks out Leatherface. You got him.
Got him.
Cuts his own leg, and then he sells it for a little bit, but then he gets back up like, oh.
At least he sold it. At least he sold it.
He sold it for a bit. Yeah. He's like, nah, man.
Yeah, he's not like these young dumbass kids like Johnny Gargano that don't fucking sell shit. Oh, wrong podcast. I'm sorry.
You leave Johnny Wrestling out of this.
No, when he cut his leg, I was like, I really want a sloppy Joe right now. That made me want a sloppy Joe.
Real meaty.
Yeah, I don't know about you.
What you think about Arby's? We got the meats.
They had the roast beef sandwich.
Mm. Did you eat anything while you were watching this?
I did, honestly. I was eating a nice little supper. Had some seasoned salsa pork and some potatoes, green onion in there. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Nice.
What about you? Were you eating anything meaty? I guess.
Well, not so much meaty. I had some fish.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some fish. What is it? It's Gordon.
Gordon.
I believe that's the brand.
Some fish sticks.
Well, fish sticks.
What
the hell are they called? I don't know what the hell.
Little air fry action with some tartar sauce.
I don't got no air fryers. Man. Not living the luxury life. I had to use the oven.
Hey, you know what?
Like caveman.
You know what happens in a few weeks? Come on. Black motherfucking Friday, sir. Black Friday. In a few weeks. I got my air fryer for like $20 last year on Black Friday, just saying.
I was like, where are you going with that? This Black Friday's coming up. What?
Oh, that's another good thing. I haven't bought movies in like 3 months. So maybe they're going to be some $7 ones on Black Friday. Maybe I can just get all mine there. Sorry.
That's not another show.
I got a little too excited about Black Friday.
There's no one guess moment.
So Sally survives. She gets in the back of a truck. They escape. They have a hard time starting it, but they start it again and they leave. She, has screaming profusely. She keeps screaming. Looks crazy while she's doing it. She's kind of smiling, I think, but she's just so scared, but she's happy she's getting away. And then Leatherface does his chainsaw dance, his one-on-one. Yeah.
It's like, what?
And then,
he really was not selling that leg injury after that.
Well, the adrenaline kicked in, and his enter Johnny Gargano kicked in. He was like, I don't need to sell shit. So, he did his chainsaw dance, and then the movie ends.
It's a beautiful, happy ending.
Which I gotta say, if I'm correct, there is no score again at the end, just the sound of her screaming in the chainsaw. So I enjoyed that. It was pretty creepy. What about you? Did you like the ending? The classic dancing with the chainsaw? Turn around every now and then. Yeah, that's the song I thought of when he was dancing with the chainsaw.
And I need you more.
Yeah.
What? Turn around. He was
He was getting it.
dancing that away. Because the guy in the truck just comes out of nowhere, like, and he sees Sally, like, oh, I think she's covered in blood or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, it looks like he's debating like he should not stop. And he wants to keep going, but he's like, oh, I don't want to be a dick, so I'll let her get on. I wonder why at the moment when he's like, is she getting on, and then he sees he's already seeing Leatherface. It's like, what the hell is this? Just a big ass dude with the chainsaw, and he's wearing skin on his face.
Yeah.
But Leatherface was like so close to that truck, and like she was barely even getting in the back of the truck. It's like, I wonder if like when they're shooting at, like, oh, I know you're very close to her, but don't attack her.
Probably.
It's like, could you at least there actually being a gap there?
They're like, this is how I picture it. This is my directing mind. I need you to, yeah.
You're close by, but don't. just sell more of that leg injury.
Yeah. But speaking of the ending, I mean, I enjoyed the ending. You said you kind of enjoyed the ending. If you got a chance to change the ending, how would you have ended it? Or do you want me to go first with my pick?
Oh, you son of
I'll go first. If I had to change anything about the ending, I think I would have gotten one more kill in there. Maybe I would have had Leatherface kill the truck driver, and then I like leaving Leatherface alive, obviously, because they're like, hey, just in case, a sequel. But I wouldn't have minded seeing him kill the truck driver and then maybe slash the tire of the truck before they leave, just to have in the back of your mind, did she really get away? Yeah.
Like,
other than just that small tweak, I would have left everything the same. What about you?
well, I mean, say the cook was still alive.
Cook
Of course,
was
that's why you see him in part 2. I'm trying to think if there was any vehicles. I don't know. What I'm going with this is that, what if the cook was in that truck instead of just a random guy?
Oh yeah.
And when she's like, I don't know, she's too focused on trying to get away, and then when they turn back, when the cook turns back and you see his face, like, just smiling.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see.
Something like that.
Kind of like an Undertaker. I'm in the front seat ending, and Teddy Long's in the back. Yeah.
What do you think you're going?
Yeah.
Or what does he say?
Hello, Teddy.
Hello, Teddy. Hey, hello. You going one-on-one with the Undertaker?
Yeah, that's a good ending, because
You
like,
get tag team match.
you still would be like, does she survive or does she not? Find out next week on Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2.
Part 2.
Yeah, that's a good ending.
But they don't, of course, in the sequel, they don't pick up with Sally at all.
Which is fine.
I
It's okay.
think that random person at the end of Next Generation was supposed to be Sally. When she's being strolled away from like that stretch or whatever it was.
Oh, you think?
Well, I mean, in the credits scene, it says, like, I don't know, mysterious or random person.
Mm.
But it's probably that's probably, if not, then
Or you gotta watch
2022.
Or you gotta watch Part 3 before Next Generation.
Weapons in Part 3.
You gotta watch it. I'm just teasing you. I don't know.
What if I don't want to watch it?
But you got to.
You have to. I'll watch it, but yeah, I mean, like I said, they did just took it off of Tubi, so I don't really know where they plan on putting on another streaming service.
Yeah.
Or I can just buy the movie, huh?
You could. Patrick Wilson of the film.
Patrick Wilson film. I was thinking just for fun, just throw in the 2003 ending as well. Because that ends out kind of similar to them. But you have Arlie and Ermi. And Jessica Biel's character runs him over.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I was like, I can't remember how I direction I went with that, like how I would have ended that.
I would have ended it with him not getting ran over. just so you can still play with the mind, like, you know, is he coming back? Are they going to do another one after this? But they don't. And he was such a good actor, and that character was so good, I think, that it would have been okay to, like, leave it blank. Like, I don't think he needed to be in that ending shot. That's just my view on it.
Yeah, I think what I threw in there, I was like, oh, I would have cut Leatherface's other arm. Not even kill him at all. Just let him with no armless. And I joked around that someone would come and patch him up with like meat arms. like what they do in Wakanda with the Bucky. Give him that arm. But Patrick Wilson of the film.
I don't like that award in this movie. I'm gonna be so generic. I'm gonna have to say Gunnar Hansen. I think some of the acting with these characters were so bad. Again, it's a 70s horror film, low budget, but I think just the stunt acting, the stunt, you know, usage of Gunnar Hansen as Leatherface, his body mannerisms, his body language, I think it has to go to Gunnar Hansen for me as Leatherface.
I couldn't choose Leatherface.
You can choose the director.
I'll choose director. I'll choose the Hitchhiker.
There you go. I like that. He sets the tone for the film straight from the beginning. It's a good one.
I love that the scene where he's like, or the cook, he's like trying to be a badass, whatever. It's like, I'm in charge, but the Hitchhiker is like, oh, well, the people that do all the work it's me and Leatherface over here.
I know this is a weird comparison, but some people might watch this or listen to this, you know, review and be like, you know, that's pretty fucking creepy or cool. I'm gonna compare the Hitchhiker to Heath Ledger's Joker. Because he's almost at that point where he's like, he's so fucking crazy. I'm going to use a line from The Dark Knight where he's like, you know, if I catch a car, I wouldn't know what to do with it. I'm like a dog catching a car. You kind of get that same feeling of watching the Hitchhiker. Like, he almost catches the guys in the beginning of the van, but it's like he's so close he doesn't know what to do with them. You know, and it's, I don't know. I thought about that scene today when I was watching the film, when I was watching the Hitchhiker. I'm like, I kind of see some mannerisms of Heath Ledger's Joker in there. I don't know if, you know, Heath Ledger watched this movie or thought about any of that before he played the Joker, but I was just like kind of some similarities there. I don't know. Just a thought.
As far as side characters, where do you rank them? I haven't seen part 3 yet, but as far as like family brothers, Hitchhiker, Shop Top, and what's Matthew McConaughey's character? The Wilbur, right?
If I had the side characters, you talking about Hitchhiker, Bill Moseley. I can't really remember the one from 3, and then Matthew. I would have to say Hitchhiker is a 1. Bill Moseley's a 3, and I got to put Matthew McConaughey at 2. Yeah. Because even without the Hitchhiker being as good as he is, I think the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre would still be pretty epic if they put somebody else in there. Next Generation is going to be complete dog shit without Matthew McConaughey. So he's more important to that movie, I think, than anybody else is to their franchised movie. But I still think Hitchhiker has to be 1. What about you?
It's good. Hmm. If we're talking about like someone who can do the most damage, I think Matthew McConaughey could probably do the most. Just how crazy he was. Just weird. Um, Bill Moseley is more the comedic. He's like just a toned up version of actually the Hitchhiker.
Yep.
He's like just a toned up version. Oh yeah. And I quote. I think screw it. I'll put McConaughey's character at 1. 2 would be Hitchhiker, and 3 would be Shop Top.
Yeah. Seems pretty fun. It was a fun review. I really enjoyed talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre today. Yeah.
Ba-da-ba. So this is it. This is the end of the road. With this, who you wearing? What shirt you wearing?
Dead Center Film Festival.
The festival shirt.
Festival shirt.
Represent.
Yeah.
You get a Leatherface shirt or Matthew McConaughey shirt.
Yeah. I need a Matthew McConaughey shirt. So.
Yeah, that's pretty much been today's review. It's always a fun time on here with you on.
Can't wait, man.
Can't wait. This is how do I break it?
Break it down.
Break it down. You're probably thinking like, well, this is the part where you
You get to pick the next
review
film.
the next one, yes. But unfortunately, I think it's kind of awkward considering the others never actually gone on stream to say it. But when it comes down to it, I'm gonna step down from the channel. Not no negative thing. It's just that I feel like I need a break, kind of just do my own thing. So it's not goodbye. It's I guess that's see you later type of thing. Even though I do plan on appearing on Friday's stream.
Friday stream, 9 p.m.
Yeah, I wanted to give a proper send off, I guess.
So this is it for season 4. You talking about we'll take like a little hiatus, little break. You come back for season 5.
Well, maybe some guest appearances, but as far as a full-on host, no. I think Fuentes will be back around January time. Yeah.
You know, it's always good for everybody. You know, myself included. Sometimes we go so hard at work personally, or we go so hard on other projects and other things. You don't want to get burnt out. It's especially if it's something you love, like horror movies. You know, no matter where you do a review at, or no matter where you do a podcast, it's, you know, I think it's always important to take a break, enjoy some you time. We don't always talk about horror movies at another time. You know, you never want to get burnt out. Always want to put yourself first, and you know, take a little chill pill. So the holidays are coming up, cold season's coming up, COVID probably coming back at some point. You know, you never know.
Boy.
You might want to. I mean, same thing with me. You know, take a ride, take a sit back, and just kind of enjoy, you know, the next few weeks about what's about to happen personally. You know, holidays, stuff like that. So, like Nick said, you know, it's not goodbye. I guess we'll see you later. So yeah, you know, it's been fun doing these horror movies with you every week. whether it's on UHD or Friday the 14th right here. It's always fun. It's something I look forward to every Wednesday. So, like you said, we'll see you later. So,
But if you want,
but
that's if you want. Let's go. But if you want to follow me, you can follow me at the 4K Bad Guy. I'll see if I can update some stuff on there or whatever. You want to follow me? You can follow my lovely co-host over here,
Yeah, follow
the Buzzards.
the Buzzards. Instagram at Friday the 14th Podcast UHD. Like Nick said, at the 4K Bad Guy. You can follow anything I post social media wise or podcast wise at Cine-Men Movie Podcast. Big month coming up for us. I mean, we have Denzel Washington month coming up. 3 Denzel Washington movies in 4 weeks. And then we get to talk Wakanda Forever, Black Panther 2. So I think it's going to be fun. Some giveaways, some sexy talk,
Sexy talk.
Sexy talk. Oh, yeah. And then, December for me is so huge and so girthy. We, talking about Titanic, it's got to be girthy. So I'm looking forward to December to close out the year. The very last episode of the year for me is going to be a top 5 plus 5, the best of Denzel Washington. So it's something we've just been building and building and building up all year. So I think it's going to be pretty fun. But yeah, that's it for me. Nick, as always, great conversation for you. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the OG, the original, Leatherface, Gunnar Hansen. Thank you always for letting me come onto this YouTube channel and this podcast. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming all over this stream. Oh man, yeah.
You get to send it off. Take us home.
I get to take you home. Well, it's been fun. Just be on the lookout. Maybe not now, but sometime I'll be back at it. It's the outro.
Hook 'em.